This presentation is intended to be an ongoing resource for the development and building permit process for development within the City of Edmonton. Current planning helps the City of Edmonton to realize its vision of safe, healthy, attractive, vibrant, and sustainable communities. The branch is divided into sections: the Development Approval and Zoning Services, Building Permit and Inspection Services, and the Current Planning Service Centre. The Current Planning Service Centre. They assist with all of your permits, licensing, and payment processing needs, including development permits, building permits, business licenses, mechanical permits, and more. The Service Centre staff include 3 planners, the Safety Codes officers, additional planning technicians, and service advisors, and they are located on the 5th floor of the HSBC building. Land use planning hierarchy starts from the strategic plans, policies, and guidelines, then to the area structure plans, the neighborhood structure plans, zoning, subdivisions, and servicing agreements, and development and building permits, which is what we will be discussing. The zoning bylaw is the rule book for all development that occurs within Edmonton. It regulates the what, where, and how land is used in Edmonton. This includes permitted land uses, building heights, forms, densities, site layout, landscaping, and parking. These rules are described in zones that are assigned to all areas and properties across Edmonton. Zoning information. There are 3 different options. There's the Current Planning Service Centre, which is located on the 5th floor of the HSBC building. There's an online option, and there's zoning confirmation application form for a fee of $100. Zoning information is not provided over the telephone. The zoning bylaw is accessible on the city's website under bylaws. Important items are the zoning map and the zoning bylaw. Zoning key considerations. There's the zone, there's overlays, which have additional development regulations superimposed on specific areas, and there's special areas. Zones designed in accordance with the policies and objectives of the plans, like an ARP or an ASP, to address a unique mix of both uses and land use regulations. The Edmonton Design Committee is a specific defined geographical area. It evaluates proposals based on principles of urban design. Anticipate additional time, approximately 2 months, due to separate approval process. Timing is influenced by required information being provided by the applicant and availability of time slots on upcoming meeting agendas. Landscaping circulation. Zoning bylaw requires landscaping as per Section 55. The city staff roles are: the development officer confirms the zoning bylaw calculations for the number of trees and shrubs. The development permit is then circulated to a landscape technician who comments on plant selection, type and size, location, and confirms securities are adequate for approved landscaping to ensure they cover the cost of the landscaping. The landscape technician's major role is to confirm that the right plant is in the right place. The landscape technician role was created as a result of inspections that revealed landscaping did not survive for various reasons. The landscape plan shows what exists and what you will be installing on your site. They need to be clear and complete. Plan information is located in Section 55.3, plant detail information in Section 55.8, and installation information as well. It's ideally prepared by a landscape architect. It shows compliance with the Edmonton zoning bylaw. The plan must reflect what you will actually plant, and it must be in compliance of approved plans for release of security. It's important that the base plan matches the site plan. This is an example of a landscape plan that shows all the information required for submission. This is a basic landscape review and security process. The application is submitted to the development officer, who then circulates the landscape plan to the landscape technician with the calculations. The landscape technician reviews the landscape plan and, if required, may contact the applicant to obtain more information. The development officer will then approve and condition the development permit with landscape security conditions. The applicant then may provide an updated landscape plan to the landscape technician. The landscape technician reviews the plans and may request additional information or a revised plan. To expedite the landscape approval process, the applicant may provide the cost estimate with the landscape plan. If the estimate is sufficient, a landscape security may be submitted at this time. If the applicant chooses, they may delay the estimate and security submission to after the approval of the development permit. The conditions of the development permit decision will reflect this. Landscaping cost estimate matches the approved landscape plan, costs required from a bona fide supplier, used to determine the required landscape security, and encouraged at the time of submission. In May 2014, we introduced pre-application meetings for major development permits. We focused on performance measures to decrease processing times, and we've introduced e-services, increasing online functionality. We've done this for engineering reviews, development coordination section, pet licensing. We've also introduced building permit risk-based inspections and building inspection status notifications. The 2015 service enhancements include e-services for land development applications and business licensing, self-inspection programs, and ongoing process refinement. We will also be reducing the number of required drawings for single-family development permit applications and semi-detached development applications down to one single copy.